So, how does it work? Well, we've all heard of the European Commission, which is the central administration of the European Union. Some people think that that is a huge, powerful bureaucracy that decides everything. Not true. For a start, it's actually very small. It has fewer people working for it than Leeds City Council. But more importantly, it does not have the decision-taking power. It simply makes proposals. The agreement to such proposals is in the hands of two bodies. The Council, which is composed of ministers from the elected governments of every member state, and the European Parliament, composed of directly elected MEPs from regions across the whole of Europe. To adopt anything in the context of the European Union, you need it to be examined by both the Parliament and the Council of Ministers. Under the co-decision procedure, both bodies have to agree for a text to become law or for a policy to be approved. That actually is a double democratic safeguard. Everything that is done by the European Union has been approved by the national governments in the Council of Ministers, from the member states, and from directly elected MEPs. Nothing is imposed from Brussels, as some newspapers would have you believe. The Brussels bureaucrats do not have that power. It is elected politicians from the countries of Europe that take the decision. And you know, it's interesting when these bodies deal with European legislation. When it's in front of the Council, the ministers, the media looks at this as if it's some sort of gladiatorial combat between countries. You know, did Britain win today, or were we outmaneuvered by the French who made a deal with the Germans and the Irish stabbed us in the back? It's not like that. Those very same subjects, when they come before the European Parliament, you hardly ever see all the members from one country voting one way and all the members of another country voting another way. No, we divide politically, not by nationality, and that is the reality of the choices we face. Just think about it. When we are looking at environmental standards, some people want to raise those standards, but it will cost more to industry or to the taxpayer. You'll have people on both sides of the argument in every country. It's not that everyone in France thinks one thing and everyone in Britain thinks another. Of course not. These are political choices, political divisions that are shown up in the Parliament and that are hidden away in the Council of Ministers. But together, the Council, where ministers defend national interests as seen by the government of the day, and the European Parliament, directly elected and fighting political battles and looking at things from a philosophical and ideological and policy-making perspective, the two of them together offer quality control, a double check and balance in adopting European legislation. That too is why it's important that you have good MEPs that work hard, do their job, and I would say this, of course, as a Labour MEP, that are keen to have high standards and fair rules for our common market. Common rules for the common market on consumer protection, on environmental standards, on employment law and workplace rights, to make sure that this market works effectively and fairly. That's what we stand for, unashamedly. We want this union to work, we want it to be fair, we want it to benefit its citizens. Thank you very much.